Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Shout out, as always, to my man, Brian Shadow Strike, for keeping me updated with the latest forum post. By the way, on the top of this forum post, as we continue to work to address ongoing issues regarding parry and evade, we will be extending the Week 4 Quest of Summer Pain and its solo objectives by 1 week. Of course, it's funny that they have this message still when it became possible to beat it twice, and they had to take away the points for the people that beat it twice. But enough of that. Champion Spotlight, King Groot. Buffed. I gotta say, I do like that graphic. I do like that they have the buffed text on it. I think that's a really smart move by Kabam. Alright, so King Groot's mechanics. Let's jump right into it. King Groot's human experiments have uncovered new techniques for the Master of Plants to utilize in his quest for power. In addition to his immunity to bleed, the King of Plant X's thirst for power can no longer be quashed, and he is immune to power drain and power burn effects. His malice now grows more intense as the battle wears on, granting additional potency to his fury buffs, and with his signature ability unlocked, longer poison duration. Experimentation into the effects of poison have also granted him new abilities. His heavy attack now prolongs poison and armor break debuffs on the opponent, which, anytime a heavy attack looks great, I just think of that champion automatically as a parry heavy champion. I also have to say, these glasses, they kind of do some weird reflections. So let's put on the darker Professor shades for the rest of this, shall we? Moving on. Experimentation. The effects of poison have also granted him new abilities. His heavy attack, belongs, and his noxious special 2 breath now deals direct damage on top of its poisonous effects. That should probably look pretty impressive. His devastating special 1 now deals lasting effects to his opponent's armor, chipping away with each armor break debuff until there is nothing left to break but the souls of those who have grinded the arena. Base stats and abilities. You can see the health gets up to 51,456. I don't know if he's ever going to be a good defender because he's pretty easy to bait, especially the special 1, but you never know. There are certain nodes that can make a crappy defender pretty dang good. Long fights. As a strength, King Groot enjoys long battles that allow him to ramp up his malice effects as time wears on. Armored opponents, tech, and other opponents that rely on armor-up buffs will quickly find their armor in tatters with King Groot's devastating special 1 armor breaks. I hope that means it's a great counter to somebody like Iron Man Infinity War as well. Weaknesses. Mystic champions. King Groot is heavily reliant on his fury buffs to deal damage, which can be easily handled by Nullify and other mystic tricks. This always reminds me of like Pokemon back in the day where you had different classes and you just didn't want to bring some against others. I mean, I can't imagine ever being like, oh, it's a Mystic Champion, time to bring in that Cosmic. Alright, always active, unique physiology grants immunity to bleed, power drain, and power burn effects. I think the power drain thing is really fascinating. I'm sure there's got to be some content at some point where bringing in King Groot is just a huge plus versus others. I plan on taking him up eventually just to have... I think about a roster like... And I know it's a DC reference, like Batman's utility belt, and you can't have enough tools in that utility belt that do different things. Maybe you'll only use him a couple times. I've said the same thing about non-Hawkeye Ronin, by the way, who continues to be somebody, even though it's been a little while, who once or twice a year, spam the special ones. He is a top beyond God tier counter for a hard, uncollected, or especially, I guess now, Cavalier Event Quest final boss. Alright, personal fury buffs. Unless otherwise stated, King Groot's fury buffs each provide plus 501 attack rating and last for 13 seconds. Whenever King Groot receives a debuff, he will spend 1 personal fury buff after half a second to purify the debuff. Developers note, don't let King Groot's low base attack fool you. His fury buffs allow him to pack a serious punch. So, low base attack because he will stack and improve that attack with those stackable furies awfully fast. Malice passive. King Groot starts the fight with the Malice passive, which grants 3 fury buffs each time it activates. I would think that would be pretty good for some nodes in Cavalier Event Quest as well. Malice lasts as long as King Groot has at least 1 personal fury buff remaining, while Malice is active, gain up to plus 100 fury buff potency based on how long the fight has gone on. Max bonus after 100 seconds. When Malice ends, it goes on cooldown for 13 seconds. When Malice is on cooldown, any attack from either champion has a 20% chance to grant 1 fury charge. I hate like the 20% chance stuff because that's 1 out of 5. You know, that's basically RNG at its finest or at its worst. Each time King Groot's attack is evaded, auto-blocked, or misses, gain 2 Furies. That is pretty cool. Cooldown 3 seconds. Developers note, cowardice only fuels the King's Rage. Slippery Spider-Verse champions and autonomous auto-block opponents alike will find their cunning crafts used against them when the King's Malice returns. Here's looking at you, Miles Morales and MODOK. Heavy attacks. Pause all poison and armor break debuffs on the opponent for 3 seconds. That's awesome. Malice, spin 1 Fury buff to instead pause for 6 seconds. Developers note, use in unison with King Groot's Special 1 to continuously degrade the opponent's armor, or with his Special 2 to keep the poison flowing through the opponent's veins. You know, as always, some things look better on paper. I think this is going to be one of those classic things where I won't really know how much I like it until I'm using it. But I'm fascinating. I think it's really unique what they're doing with King Groot. And I really do believe, as well, as I've said already in this video, that he's going to be worth ranking up just for certain situations, if nothing else. Special 1 inflicts up to 3 armor break debuffs. Again, 3 armor breaks. Shout out to that horrible... I still hate fighting Iron Man Infinity War. I just hate it. Max stacks 10. Special 2. Each hit of King Groot's Caustic Breath deals 1,169 direct damage. The damage is tripled against robot champions. Suck it, robots! Hashtag King Groot. 100% chance to inflict the poison debuff, inflicting healing effects by 30% and dealing 3,340 direct damage over 10 seconds. Spin 1 Fury buff to increase the poison duration by 100%. Special 3. We haven't heard too much about the Special 3. The Special 1 and the Special 2 have been highlighted so far, so let's talk about Special 3. 100% chance to gain a regeneration buff, recovering 10% health over 3 seconds. So this is kind of like a restoration kit, right? Because you can recover 10% health with Deadpool, X-Force, and Nick Fury. So it's kind of like a personal restoration kit. This regeneration buff is paused while King Groot is heal blocked. Oh, that's interesting too. Spend 1 Fury buff to increase the buff duration by 50% for Malice. King Groot's evolving regenerative powers allow you to never miss another regeneration buff's benefits again while under the spell of heal block. Again, that's really fascinating. That is not the case for so many regen champions, even my favorite regen champions like Wolverine. So this is interesting. Will it be somebody that has me like get excited to use them every day? Honestly, probably not. But like so many champions in the right fights, even just bringing him into Cavalier Event Quest, it's something important. It makes him not terrible to use, and that's what a buff's about. A buff takes a bad champion that a lot of people have and makes him useful, and especially top tier in certain situations, even if they're unique situations. Alright, that signature ability, Unyielding Might. The Malice is passive, while Malice is active, gain up to plus 100% poison duration based on how long the fight has gone. Max bonus after 100 seconds. Synergy bonuses, King Groot plus 35% poison and armor. Break debuff duration with the giant monstrosities of Venom the Duck, Mojo, Immortal Abomination, and Moment. That Immortal Abomination is going to be an awesome link with him because he is a great champion by himself. I love using fantastic champions. Of course, Mole-Man, Venom the Duck, Mojo are also champions that are very popular. Extra large champions plus 4% health and attack rating, not bad. And then a unique synergy with Crossbones, OG Abomination. The Crossbones, while fighting hero champions, Malice grants additional Fury buff and the chance to gain Fury charges during cooldown is increased by a flat 10%. Crossbones start the fight with 2 Fury buffs. That's going to come in handy for Crossbones. Recommended masteries further increase the potency of King Groot's Fury buffs to maximize his offensive capability with the extended enhanced Fury mastery. I'm intrigued. Again, I'm not going to say it's too easy, and Lord knows I've been wrong enough in my YouTube career to be like, this guy's definitely going to be this tier or this tier. And I'd rather underhype a champion than overhype a champion. What I will say is that he has some utility that not a lot, if any, champions have, and that makes him unique when you need him in certain fights. And you know Kabam is always developing new nodes that nerf so many of your favorite classic high yellow numbered champions crits. And so King Groot's going to be one of those champions, kind of like Crossbones, who he's got that great synergy with, that just makes this a lot more interesting. And I'm fascinated. I'm intrigued by it. Well, there you have it, YouTube. We did not get to 10 minutes. I looked down and said, we're at 9:30, so I better end it here. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Please let me know what you think of the King Groot buff in the comments below.